And we're back. Kenos here with Jeff for the last two games of the night. Phoenix versus Gale Force. Jeff, you recovered from the last set of games?
I'm still working my way back, but thankfully, well, for once, I'm thankful for that spectator delay. Give me a few more minutes.
All right, excellent. Sounds good. We'll just have to see if these last set of games here can kind of calm us down a little bit, but I'm hoping for something a little more exciting out of that than just a way to end the night. We've
Sure.
gotten two amazing games so far today, at the very least. And I'm hoping that one of these teams can pull out another one. Gonna take a quick peek actually while they're starting the champ select here at the standings. Not on the stream, just for my own personal sake. Gale Force and Phoenix are both tied for last place
Hmm.
with Northern Storm. So one of these teams could climb past White Wolf Gaming for a fourth place spot. So a lot
Yeah,
on the
this
line for these guys.
unfortunately one of those times where you feel like neither team would be happy at all with a 1-1.
Hmm.
You think at this point, with these teams being down at the bottom of the standings, it would be great to get that 3-point bump, really leap yourself up into the middle of the pack wholly.
And these are not teams that should be at the bottom of the pile. You know, I mean,
Sure.
Phoenix, I've said a lot of nice things about them last week, especially with the addition of Fat Lee to their roster. And Gale Force also has a lot of very talented players on it. So neither of them deserves to be in last place. I mean, not that anyone ever deserves to be in last place. But I think they just need to, teams need to, just figure out where they're at. And someone needs to get together a strategy that works.
Yeah, we are still relatively early in the split here. It is week 4, so this is about the time where I think you would start to see teams, start to find their identity, start to figure out how to work together. At the
Hmm.
same time, you mentioned the replacement, Fat Lee taking over for Goon Stomp. That can be tricky. We've had a lot of subs, a lot of replacements so far in this split, so that maybe put some teams a little behind the curve in terms of developing that comfort.
Absolutely. And an interesting Fiddlesticks pick coming out here for our first set of picks. It looked as though for a minute they were going to pick Icebird, but now we're on the Fiddlesticks. Where do you think that Fiddle's going?
Ooh boy. It it I was about to say it doesn't seem like a Hohenheim champion, but with the way he plays mid lane Morgana, I could see him trying to do similar things with the Fiddlesticks, jumping in there with the ult right in the middle of everyone. It I would be very surprised if it was a support Fiddlesticks. I think we saw TARDIS last week on a squishy mage support, and it really didn't work out very well for him.
Well, with the Malphite pick, it's obviously not a top lane Fiddlesticks.
Well, we know Darian's going Malphite anytime they leave it available.
Yeah, that is the dangerous thing. Including Fat Lee in Gale Force's roster means that Darian's probably going to be playing a lot more Malphite.
And actually, now that you remind me just by mentioning his name with Fat Lee, he was playing Gragas in a very damage-heavy, aggressive style last weekend. I believe he was building him with the Runic Echoes. He was stacking a lot of AP. So maybe he'll be looking to do something similar to that with the Fiddlesticks.
This is a very scary team comp for Phoenix already. Without even knowing where the Fiddlesticks going, Malphite and Alistar are the two pocket picks for their top and support positions, respectively.
And if you theoretically get the perfect engage, which obviously is a lot easier said than done, you can have everybody knocked up and CC'd for a good 3 seconds sitting in a Crow Storm.
Yeah. And clearly, Galestorm seems to think that this Fiddlesticks is jungle because they're banning mid laners still. I can't imagine where else I think it's going unless it's going to be Port Swimmer on Fiddlesticks.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking with Nickel in set 2, and we were talking a little bit just about the value of not just flex picks, obviously, but mystery picks like this Fiddlesticks, where, it's something that isn't meta, that unless you've done some extensive scouting into the team you're coming up against, you probably have no idea what you're looking at right now.
Meanwhile, for Gale Force, they've got rather basic picks. The Braum doesn't really give too much away. Very strong, solid Jax we've seen several times so far in the LCUS, and Xerath has had a couple of very good plays as well.
Now, going off of last week, I believe both teams coming off of 1-1s, if I'm not mistaken. Gale Force, I think, went 1-1 against Nine Lives.
And Phoenix went 1-1 against White Wolf.
All right. So both teams did earn their sole point that they have in the standings now last week. So potentially on the rise compared to weeks 1 and 2.
Now we have a Twitch coming out. Twitch hasn't shown up in this particular split yet.
Wow, the Wombo combo potential here. With
Alright, so
the AoE knockups, a Spray and Pray, a Crow Storm, and then a Master Yi to just clean it all up, potentially. Or an Alawi. Or a Char, okay.
Alright, so that is a Fiddlesticks mid then.
Yeah, it must be.
So a bit of a wasted ban there, but better safe than sorry when you're against Hohenheim, I suppose.
Ooh boy, it's gonna be exciting to see Hohenheim on this this new pick. Meanwhile, we've got TARDIS on his old faithful cow.
Indeed. Yeah, these, like I said, these are all, except for Fiddlesticks. Most of the rest of these champs are all very safe, comfort, go-to picks for these players. So Phoenix's lineup is looking very confident.
Meanwhile, on the side of Gale Force, it's so standard. I feel bad that we haven't talked about it as much.
Right, exactly.
It's just very much what we've come to expect.
Yeah, I like some range to RAS possibilities that Gale Force has. You've got the Xerath who can do a lot with that. You've got Mundo with his axes, or not axes, cleavers. Lucian can, of course, do all of his sorts of abilities. But the interesting thing is that they have Braum. I'm not sure how efficient Braum will be in this particular game. Obviously, he has a lot of potential with his other abilities, but when you think of Braum, you think of his shield. And there isn't too much his shield is going to be stopping.
Well, he can stop the Spray and Pray.
Right.
Which is big. And I guess maybe the annoying crows that come flying in and bouncing between everybody. But yeah, it's interesting. This almost reminds me a little bit of game 1 of our last set, where you have one side that's really looking to fight. They're looking for big initiations, big plays, while the other one is just much more balanced and able to engage, able to disengage, able to split push, able to do a lot of different things, more win conditions, I guess I would say, for the side of Gale Force. Whereas Phoenix, they're just looking to make some big highlight plays.
Right. Yeah, and they have an opportunity to do that quite a bit. I'm interested to see who this Jax decides to pick on. I feel like Fiddlesticks will be a priority target, but with Fiddlesticks, fear abilities and those sorts of things, it might be hard to lock him down. I'm also not really liking the CC on Gale Force's side. Obviously, they have it, but I would categorize their CC as a little more inconsistent.
Yeah, very situational.
Meanwhile, Phoenix has very reliable CC, very press a button and these things happen.
Yeah, definitely it's going to be up to Gale Force if they want to lock someone down. Poison Ivy, Deformed Ape are going to have to get in some good plays out of some good positions. You know, it's sort of like two-step CC with abilities like that, as opposed to, say, an Unstoppable Force from a Malphite, where you just say, hey, I'm here, now I'm hitting all of you.
Absolutely. Well, as the timer ticks down here, we'd like to remind everyone that this particular set of games is brought to you by the community of Twitch Prime subs that we have. So thank everyone for supporting the channel, for playing the games, for commentating, giving us feedback. Wouldn't be able to do this without you. Wouldn't be able to have the new music we have for this split without you guys. New team logos, all that great stuff. So thanks for subbing through Twitch Prime. Remember to renew those subscriptions if you haven't. Put a reminder in your phone, something like that. And also feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Facebook. Go over to Reddit. We have a lot of posts there about the various games and discussions there. So lots of ways to get involved.
Woo!
Yep. All right. So we haven't had any close skin skin showdowns today for the Nero skin showdown.
Yeah,
So
they've been kind of lacking.
I'd like to see some good skins coming out here for these last two sets of games. Lucian obviously has some good skins available to him. Phil's got a ton of skins.
Yeah, Fiddle's got some good ones. You don't really realize it because you don't see him in games very often.
I'm hoping it's just not something generic like birthday fiddlesticks or something. All right, Bandito, that's fine.
Mega Squad Twitch.
Disappointed by the no skin on Jax.
Yeah, Jax is an interesting one. No, no skin on Braum as well. Oh, but no skin on Jarvan. Kind of lacking again here.
Yeah, I think I'll give it to Phoenix.
Yeah.
Obviously, SKT Alistar isn't necessarily a highlight, but I'm not a huge corporate Mundo guy, and Battlecast Xerath is just the one everyone uses.
I used to love Corporate Mundo when I was in college, but now that I'm an adult, he just reminds me of work, and so not all about that.
Just think how much more interesting your workday would be if Mundo was there.
I mean, interesting is not the word I would choose for it.
Alright, so we'll see if there's any sort of aggression. Gale Force, thinking about being a little aggressive. Phoenix has done aggressive stuff in the past, but it's just Hohenheim and Fat Lee right now. Angling. Do get spotted by the ward.
Yeah, there isn't much in the way of level 1 CC on the side of Phoenix. Tardis would have to flash for a Pulverize, pretty much, to get anything for them. Or Hohenheim could flash for a Fear, I guess, theoretically.
Yeah, since Hohenheim is the odd man out in this situation, he's starting with Dark Wind. So he's going to be working on those silences.
Which I think, well, way back, I think it was 2011 or so, I used to play Fiddlesticks mid a little bit when I was like a level 10 idiot noob. And I do remember that starting Dark Wind is very annoying because you just get so much free poke by putting that on a minion and just having it bounce to your lane opponent a couple times.
And for those of you who have forgotten literally everything about Fiddlesticks, well, first Hohenheim's coming to Steel Blue. But it looks like he has decided against it. You may have forgotten, but can't remember that his idol is standing perfectly still, like a scarecrow, which is a neat bit of detail. Yeah, this is actually the first time I've seen the Western Lucian. So
Oh yeah, the high noon? Yeah, I don't think I have either, actually. Good point. Very flashy.
Not a fan of the asymmetry on the guns. I understand that's kind of his thing, but I think having the two dark guns would have been better. Alright, so Darien having a rough life against Kantos already here. Lot of damage coming out.
Oh, this could be a solo kill. This is going to be a solo kill. Oh my goodness, Stelio just runs down with the level 2 advantage.
Really surprised he'd never flashed there.
Yeah, I think he was trying to predict the last cleaver and then just maybe didn't react in time with the flash. Even so, though, I think Stelio could have flashed in and just gotten one more auto attack and gotten the kill.
Well, Darien's used to being behind, so this is nothing new for him. Probably knows to be safe now, though.
A difficult situation there because he got chased away from the minion wave, and had he stayed by the minion wave, he might have been able to get that level 2, but it's just under too much pressure to stay around.
Alright, so we'll see. This top lane should theoretically, assuming he doesn't get pushed out like that again, go relatively well for Darien. They both characters have similar wave clearing abilities. Obviously, Darien has to deal with mana, while Kantos does not. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm also a little surprised Darien not burning his teleport there. Actually, flash in from Tardis. He gets onto Poison Ivy, but doesn't get the right angle for the headbutt. Fat Lee is here. Teleport now coming in from Stelio. Darien does have his to join if he wants. Tardis is chased up into the top side of the river. I think he's surely going to go down. It's a quick 2-0 start for this Mundo.
Really good play by Fat Lee in the disengage there. Knocked up the Mundo to try to give Alistar a time to get, or Alonzi a time to get away. and it just didn't work out. And there's that the Poison Ivy stun working for him again as a way to help secure that.
Yeah, amidst all of the talk about the Fiddlesticks in Champion Select, I actually sort of missed the fact that we're going all the way back to when Lucian and Braum were both new champions, and people sort of realized how good they were together, with Lucian's double tap passive being able to apply the concussive blows so much faster. Hohenheim getting really low in the mid lane as Fat Jackalope jumps in on Court Swimmer, but out of mana, not really enough damage potential there. Poison Ivy is running Ignite, though. Support Swimmer should be aware and respectful of that.
Yeah, he really should be. I think this is the time to go back, unless TARDIS can land a few hits and heal him up. But yeah, Hohenheim got really low there. Barely managed to get out with the help of the draining ability of Fiddlesticks.
Yeah, he drained and actually sort of juked an Eye of Destruction that might have killed him at the same time. Because Tilted Snorlax, I think, expected him to run away, but he just stopped and stood still and drained a minion. Now Stelio's running down Darien. This is just so difficult for anyone winning against Mundo because it's just the infinite chase. The prize he didn't continue to chase that one there. Might have been able to burn a flash, but being a little respectful, was actually at a level disadvantage there momentarily.
That might have been one of the reasons why they banned the Nasus. I don't... No, they didn't ban the Nasus. Phoenix banned the Nasus. Never mind. Well, I was going to say that, you know, Mundo sure could harass Nasus as well, but Nasus has that natural life drain and all those sorts of other things. But yeah, since it was the other way around, my theory crafting does not apply in this situation.
A fair hypothetical point.
Alright, so Cloud Drake is first. Hohenheim putting some vision on it. That's good awareness from the mid laner. Vision from Poison Ivy as well, but the control ward does not negate.
It's so difficult when you fall behind this early in the top lane, by this extent too, because asking your jungler to come up and help you can just be so dangerous, because if Deformed Ape is there, when Fat Lee comes up there, they lose that 2v2 so much. Oh, nice knockup though from Fat Lee. Tilted Snorlax, good awareness there to flash towards his jungler rather than back towards his lane where Hohenheim might have been able to pick him off. But at the same time, nice play from Fat Lee, burning a flash for her.
Oh god, Darien's caught again, but for some reason Kantos doesn't follow through.
Landing all of those briefcases, though, reminding us all that tomorrow is Monday.
Alright, so CS is otherwise equal. Darien actually ahead in CS.
Oh, here comes the Crow Storm. They get in. Oh, actually, there's action all over the map. Tilted Snorlax went down in the mid lane as Hohenheim found a nice flank from the chicken pit. And now they're pushing onto the mid lane. He and Fat Lee trying to get some damage down onto that turret.
Missed the action in the mid lane, caught a little bit there in the bot lane, but they didn't manage to do anything too severe to each other. Teleport blown to get back into lane.
Nice use of that first Crow Storm by Hohenheim.
Yeah, that's one of those level 6 abilities that you want to use right away. Big tempo swing. I'm a little...
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm a little surprised I didn't think about doing Dragon there. I feel like Fat Lee and Fiddlesticks could do it. But I could be overestimating.
That's once again, you know, I think if it's an Infernal, maybe, but a Cloud Drake is just not that valuable. You know, it's not necessarily worth opening yourself up to a potential counterplay in that situation unless you're sure you're going to get it.
LNZ and Swimmer have been spotted at least twice here. So Snorlax wisely takes a few steps back. See if they're able to do anything here. Doesn't look like... Oh! Nope, they do the headbutt knockup. Poison Ivy puts up the shield.
But just very little damage coming out, and now Jackalope turning it around. Glacial Fissure does land as Port Swimmer flash in a straight line. He's going to go down to the Ignite. Here comes right to the Arcane as well. Alonzi TARDIS under the turret should be fine, but a nice turnaround there from the bottom lane of Gale Force.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Alonzi try to get a little more involved there, body blocking, just some sort of general disruption.
Yeah, it seemed like after the initial headbutt pulverize, they just sort of realized, oh no, never mind, we don't want this.
And now it looks like there's thoughts about going for the Drake.
TARDIS is still level 5. And yeah, Hohenheim is in base, but it looks like Gale Force are just going to chill on their advantage for now. What I was going to say about Hohenheim's kill earlier is that it's just going to be so important for Gale Force to ward up their flanks, because if you ward properly against a Fiddlesticks, it's so difficult for him to ever do anything productive with his ultimate to you.
Couple of interesting small plays there in the jungle. We'll see if Darien can survive this little engage here before I talk about Ape walked right past the control ward here by Dragon. And then he hovered by Raptors for a second, not knowing that Hohenheim was lurking in the bush. So if the Raptors had actually been there, Hohenheim might have been able to get a kill.
Just didn't have the proper bait. Oh, here they go onto Tilted Snorlax again, though. Crowstorm plus Cataclysm. Down goes the Xerath. So right now what we're seeing is Gale Force winning everywhere except the mid lane.
And that's the big problem with these immobile AP mids, is that once you're caught in the Jarvan trap, you're really just dead.
Mm-hmm. And it's particularly difficult with a Fiddlesticks who can fear you, who can silence you. If you're not quick enough on your fingers, you can't even flash.
Right.
They might get first turret here. We saw them push it down a lot after that first kill, and they come back and finish the job. Deformed Ape not able to scare them off. So, despite the fact that Stelio got off to that great start, we saw Jackalope and Poison Ivy get the 2v2 kill. The mid lane has swung it all back, and we're completely even.
A little bit of a chase here on Port Swimmer. Fortunately for him, Poison Ivy's shot missed. Oh, big Alistar move there. Alistar actually doing the body blocking now. Good Braum shield, though.
Oh, Jackalope dashes in, but not able to get it. Now, can Poison Ivy finish this off? Can he get the stun? Yes, he does. So now it's just going to be two big dudes, and Poison Ivy's going to flash back to safety.
Good job by Poison Ivy, knowing what her champion can do and getting that kill. Alright, Kantos pushing these towers. Getting that CS lead that we know so well from Darien lanes. But Darien's, been on the back foot quite a lot. So we'll see if he's able to make some adjustments. Fatly continuing to farm with those 2 assists. Checking out the gold differential with the gold pretty much even. The big gold difference is in that mid lane. With top and bot lane kind of mixing it up a little bit so that it's as equal as we're seeing right now. Alright, first dragon possibly being started, though Fatly is spotted by that control ward. Is a Cloud Drake. Bot lanes are coming to assist. Another ward spots that. So we have 4 people clustered around Dragon. Mundo's teleport is available.
Yeah, Phoenix actually with the advantage down here. Darien also has his teleport available. And he's actually walked down as well. So with Crowstorm available and your Malphite nearby, I'm a little surprised that Phoenix don't try to go for something there. That Darien will just clear out a ward on his way back up to top. 13 minutes into the game. Not much to separate these teams so far.
Ooh, Fatly is going to walk into a lot of trouble here.
Oh boy, gets hit by the stun from Xerath, and Jackalope finishes him off.
Cancel the TP.
Teleport from
Cancel
Darien.
the TP, Malphite. It's not working.
Actually going in. Oh, TARDIS gets a 4-man pulverize, and there's the wombo combo that they were looking for. The spray and pray comes out as well. Here's Hohenheim over the wall. Actually doesn't get the Crowstorm onto anyone, but they do get the pick onto the Lucian. That's the combo that they're going to want over and over with the repeated knockups.
Surprised that they actually went for that. Good job by them making it work. I didn't think they'd want to get that aggressive with their positioning, but the combo did a lot of good for him. Unfortunate for Hohenheim that his Crowstorm was not in a good position, but he just overestimated where the retreat paths were.
Now TARDIS might get caught out, though. Gets hit by the Winter's Bite, and the concussive blows will land along with the stun from Xerath. Yeah, that's a dead cow. steaks are for dinner, but Port Swimmer is able to escape.
We were saying some unfortunate things about Alistar earlier, but I think the same can be said for having Twitch as your ADC buddy. He really doesn't have moves that can help save you if you get caught. Cloud Drake goes down.
Yep. Pick up the Drake after the bottom lane of Phoenix. Stuck around a little bit too long. Get the pick onto the cow. They still had Stelio down on the bottom half, but meanwhile you have Hohenheim and Darien pushing down the top lane turret. That will drop. So a trade of objectives overall.
2 turrets for Phoenix. Gold lead's still about equal though. Another
Here
big
comes
Phoenix
Port
play.
Swimmer and TARDIS. Yeah, they're looking for more aggression. They are up at a level disadvantage. And here comes Stelio with the teleport. Poison Ivy is going to go down, but does get the ultimate off in time. They pick up Port Swimmer, and now poor Alonzi TARDIS is behind enemy line. Is going to go down again. So a 2-for-1. They use the teleport of Stelio. That means Deformed Ape gets to pick up a ton of farm in the top lane.
Stelio has been doing really good with these teleport rotations.
Yeah, he's been on time, on point, hasn't had to use that cooldown to get back to lane even once, I think. So has the farm advantage. Oh, here's Hohenheim, though. Nice reaction from Jackalope to dash out of the Crow Storm before the fear landed. And now they might just dive this Fiddlesticks. Yeah, nothing left for the Scarecrow to do at that point. Stelio is tanky enough. Well played by Gale Force there.
Yep, tower aggro getting on Stelio. That healing ultimate is just so good for situations like that.
Yeah, you wonder if we'll see Hohenheim pick up, you know, some grievous wounds, or Port Swimmer to try to cut that healing down as we move through the game.
I'm actually surprised that he didn't have any sort of hourglass or wristwatch or something for that. Not wristwatch, stopwatch.
Your favorite item.
Yep.
So taking stock of everything that's gone down so far, we're still very even in this game. Kill advantage over to Gale Force, but 2 towers in the favor of Team Phoenix. Still say it's anyone's game at this point, of course.
Snorlax's Spidey sense go off and does not choose to move forward.
Yeah, Fatley and Darien are really trying to set up a death brush here.
No one seems to be falling for it, though.
Yeah, it's so difficult when you try to set up a trap like that because you know as soon as you give up on it is when someone's going to come wandering through. That's just how it always seems to happen.
Hohenheim
is... They've been there for about a minute.
Yeah, I was going to say, Hohenheim's willing to be bait, but I think at this point... Yep, and just as they give up, everyone's collapsing on Hohenheim. Everyone's collapsing on everyone, actually. Guys, where's my team?
Yeah, there is everyone
Good
trying
flash.
to flank everyone.
Oh,
here.
he's doing a turnaround.
Hohenheim flashes and comes back with the Crow Storm. That's a nice play. Tilted Snorlax is pushed away, and now Deformed Ape is being taken pretty low. Jackalope is going to go down. He's in the middle of 3 members. Port Swimmer is just firing in unopposed. So much damage coming out of the Twitch. Stelio is even going to be cut down. It's a triple kill for the Rat, and Poison Ivy is just forced to flash over the wall. A big fight there for Team Phoenix.
That's what happens when the ADCs stay in the back line and actually do their job.
Yeah, it was, we talked about everyone collapsing on everyone flanking everyone. It was Port Swimmer who arrived last. So he really got focused on by no one from the side of Gale Force. Was able to just rain in that Twitch damage.
I'm actually wondering how Hohenheim feels about this particular game, because he's been making some plays, but he hasn't been putting out the damage that you generally would expect from someone that Hohenheim is playing. Yeah,
we'll see. I think he just now completed the Hourglass, which will make his ultimates much more effective. It'll be so, you know, literally impossible to burst him down instantly as he jumps in. I did think it was kind of slick there, the way he flashed over a wall and then immediately channeled his ult right back.
Yeah, that was a really, really good heads-up play there.
And looks like Gale Force are going to move over to the Rift Herald now as Port Swimmer finishes off the bottom lane turret. He's got to have a lot of gold in his pockets that he's going to be able to go spend.
3,000. 2,500 in Fat Lee's pockets as well, so there's going to be a big damage and item boost coming out of Phoenix. But 4 towers to 0. Hopefully this picked up Rift Herald will help Gale Force get back into this in terms of the tower advantage.
Yeah, Hohenheim was up there pushing the top lane again, and I think that's interesting because we've seen him really enjoy split pushing on champions that you don't necessarily think of as split pushers a lot. It's sort of just his style of play. And now he's working. I don't think Stelio's the one that he wants to pop out on, though.
Yeah, Stelio is also the one with the Rift Herald. So, gotta keep an eye on where he is. Though I imagine his plan, assuming he doesn't know that Hohenheim is here, may just be to pop the Herald. If Hohenheim sees this, he could fear it and stop it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's good patience here.
Oh, here he comes with the Crow Storm. I don't know if he can win this fight, though. It'll be interesting to see. Oh, Stelio takes tower aggro, though, as well, so that's some nice bonus damage. But now Stelio able to just walk away, doesn't have Sadism available, so that's probably why he's happy to just stay away from the Fiddlesticks at this point.
Yeah, Hohenheim chases him off very well, though if I were Hohenheim, I would have waited to see if he could get the Herald out.
Yeah, that would have been a clever play, certainly. Meanwhile, the rest of Team Phoenix are squabbling around the blue side jungle of Gale Force.
Yeah, they're in a weird spot. They're all very clustered together, but they're distracting Gale Force rather significantly from their other priorities.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, you would certainly think that Phoenix should be staying together as a unit for the most part in this game because so much of their team composition relies around a wombo combo.
Hohenheim realizes that Kantos tricked him. Goes back to engage. Alright, Dragons. He does have Hourglass available, let's not forget that.
Yeah, Stelia's going in, but actually Crowstorm is available again already. So Sadism is forced out, but a trade of ults. Tardis actually goes in looking for the dive under the turret, has to pop the ultimate, able to get out. Now Hohenheim, though, he's being 2v1. Stelio, I think he's just going to be able to wait this out. They mistimed the last right of the arcane, and actually Stelio, he might go down here. One more turret shot. No, not quite.
Very close there. Missing the last cleaver was very important as well to almost dying there.
Yeah, Hohenheim somehow almost outplayed that. And now you have deformed Ape going in. Yeah, they're looking for a play in the bottom lane now that they have an advantage on the map. Tardis with no ultimate, so he is not tanky. He's going to go down. Big Cataclysm. Port Swimmer again is free firing. They are not prioritizing the Twitch at all. They've fiddled everyone else, but can Port Swimmer finish off this fight? Not quite able to hero play it up. Jackalope finishes him off, excuse me, Stelio did, so it's a clean ace overall across the map for Gale Force.
Very close fight. What really happened there that I think... I don't want to be too hard on Tardis for what he was trying to do there, but he tried to headbutt the Jax away. And instead of doing that, got both himself and Darian stunned. which caused a bit of a factor. Now we have Hohenheim again, obviously cannot save this turret. Thinking of maybe jumping on Snorlax if he can.
Yeah, it's... I'm not that familiar with Fiddlesticks as a champion, but it's amazing to me how low this cooldown on Crowstorm already is.
Alright. Rift Herald is going for a big walk. Let's go and gonna stretch his legs.
Yeah, this is gonna be a long one. Aw, watching Rift Herald and Mundo playing together, it's just like
they're both going to work.
Like, called a yearbook because the competition for cutest couple is just over.
They both, you know, it's a Monday. They got a case of the Mondays. Decided to walk to work. It's a nice day out.
Although there are two members from Team Phoenix up here, so they're gonna try to ruin the party. Stelio, protect your girl.
Oh.
Shelly, no!
Xerath's here, though.
Yeah, Bentley is going to go down. Oh, so they sacrifice Shelly. Probably going to get 2 kills out of it. But here comes Port Swimmer, actually. Going to open up. But, oh, boy. This time they get the focus onto him. Fat Jackalope just raking the whole culling across that rat. It's 3 kills in the top lane for Gale Force.
Yeah, Gale Force is really making this moving as a unit very effective. And not to mention, this is a 6-in-1 Mundo. This is absolutely insane. They got to get some percentage health damage or something.
Yeah, Twitch does have the Blade of the Ruin King, but I think that we're also going to need some healing reduction items along the way as well, because talked about Hohenheim's ult cooldown. Sadism gets to a very low cooldown eventually as well.
Yeah, we're at 75 seconds right now. I do think that getting some grievous wounds or whatever else those things are called at this point. I mean, Alonzi does have Ignite, but Alonzi has ended up being dead most of the time. Though for all the nice things we've said about Port Swimmer being on the outside edge of fight, he does have the most deaths. So I believe Gale Force has learned from their previous mistake and has been focusing on the rat a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, once Hohenheim's Crowstorm is either used or just avoided, it really just comes down to Port Swimmer in terms of damage on the side of Phoenix. There's very little else to come out. And I think this game is unfolding the way you would expect with these team compositions, where it's Team Phoenix getting some big team fight wins, some flashy plays when they line it all up correctly, but when they don't, Gale Force are the ones easily walking away with the advantages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. That's the way it's going right now, and I think that Gale Force is all the tempo. Granted, there's a lot of good farming going on for Phoenix. They have those towers giving them as much gold as they have, but they're 2,000 gold behind already. And once more objectives get taken, it'll keep growing. Fatly in a lot of trouble here, but for some reason, Deformed Ape does not decide to go for it. TARDIS moves up, gets a good combo. Big stun's going to come out here. There's the
Hohenheim is right in the middle with that Crowstorm. Stelio is just standing in it, though. He doesn't give a crap. TARDIS is chased away, but they go back in onto Poison Ivy, who has been left alone. Meanwhile, Stelio is trying to chase down Port Swimmer on the bottom half of the fight. It's a very scattered situation. Darien might be just left out to dry here, though. Stelio goes down. It's another fight win for Gale Force.
I mean, okay, Port Swimmer, I admire your gumption, but there is no planet that you're going to be able to beat Mundo. So shooting at him probably doesn't help when you're being chased by him.
Oh, the stun lands right away from Tilted Snorlax. Hohenheim trying to be cheeky, but I think Stelio, can you land the briefcase? No, doesn't get the prediction, but just Blast Cone's over. If nothing else, he'll just zone Hohenheim away from being able to interfere with this. This should be an easy free Baron for the side of Gale Force.
Yeah, so you have to give that up. And again, you know, I think that Fiddle just isn't bringing the damage that you're used to when you're talking about Hohenheim. He doesn't have really that many great items. Even though he and Xerath have similar gold. And I think it's just going to take too long for this Fiddle to come online, if he comes online at all. That being said, I do like this Quick Dragon.
Yeah, a little bit of an answer. They know that the Baron just went down and that likely Gale Force instantly recalled, so get some sort of consolation prize. But now Stelio is just playing Mundo to a T, going where he pleases. Are they going to run down the bottom lane?
Good headbutt.
Excuse me.
TARDIS sacrificing himself so Fatly can get away. Port Swimmer shows up to help. They do have us around here a little bit, so this is probably their best chance to get something done, but that Baron is so scary.
Yeah, Gale Force, they don't have any waves really on Phoenix's side of the map right now, so probably trying to figure out where do we want to push. Mid lane outer is still available, so that's a nice juicy target. Hohenheim is over that wall, though. You should ward. There you go. Poison Ivy gets the ward down, knowing that that's where Fiddlesticks was probably going to come from. They jump in. There's the combo. They get it onto the whole front line. 3 members evaporate. Jackalope is just going to have to try to kite away. Meanwhile, Stelio is just trying to solo out Port Swimmer. That's the combo that they look for. That's the one they need. Stelio is still able to trade one back onto Hohenheim. And now Flashes. I'm not sure that that's going to end up being worth it. We'll see if Fatly can run him down here. There's the last knock-up. They will finish off the Mundo. That's a big shutdown going over to Port Swimmer.
Yeah, definitely well done there. We're able to get the angles they needed. We're able to get the people that they don't want to be focused to be more in the back line, so they aren't focused, and that gave Port Swimmer the opportunity to get some kills.
Yeah, an instant kill on basically 3 members of Gale Force.
I think what Phoenix needs to do here is they need to, well, first they need to avoid Zera's shots there. They need to essentially just stall until their combo is back up and then just keep doing it.
Mm-hmm. Whereas on the side of Gale Force, you know, they did get a ward over where Hohenheim was coming from, but I think by then it was just a little too late. The combo had been set up, the pincers were already closing.
Yeah, I agree. So I mean, if you're Gale Force in this situation, think, okay, we just got destroyed by that combo, but that means that maybe it's not going to be up. Obviously, the problem with that is that Malphite's Unstoppable Force is 84 seconds. So you only have an 84-second window to take advantage before the combo.
Yeah, they're going in again. Deformed Ape is going to go down. Darien on the front line. He got an ult into the back line, but no one there with Phoenix was able to follow up on it that time. So not the highlight fight, but still effective again from Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, anytime they get a kill, considering how far behind they are on tempo, if not gold, that's what they need to get their, you know, get the feeling back into their legs.
Now, if you're Gale Force, you're feeling pretty safe, though, knowing that that full combo was just blown, as you were alluding to just a moment ago. Once those ultimates are down, there isn't much threat at all, even in a 5v4 situation.
Especially since Kandos is just going to jump on Fat Lee and Hohenheim here.
Yeah, TARDIS is just going to go down once again, be sacrificed. Support life is sad sometimes. Hohenheim being run down.
Does not have flash available. Logically did not burn barrier.
And that's what you were just saying a minute ago, is Phoenix, once that combo is down, you just got to wait for it again. They step too far forward that time and get punished quite heavily.
Yeah, they should not have stuck around. They should have immediately fallen back to their second turret and just waited out. Especially because there are no other lanes they can push, but now they've lost 2 members and they're going to lose the turret. And they still don't really have an answer to Mundo. I mean, obviously they're doing a lot of good damage to him there. Portstormer still alive. Portstormer actually still dodging a lot of things. Mundo gets out with 72 hit points.
Yeah, very nice from Stelio, knowing exactly how much he could endure there.
And of course he'll be back up to full in like 4 seconds.
Thank you, Warmog's armor. Meanwhile, Deformed Ape is going to become an extremely dangerous split push presence. At 222 farm, he is tied for Port Swimmer just about. Nope, he just bursted ahead. For the most CS in the game as a jungler.
He also has the most gold on his team, right below Kantos.
And I'm wondering who from Team Phoenix, if they were to send Deformed Ape on a split push mission, I don't think there's anyone on Phoenix who can stand up to him.
It'd be interesting to see. I don't know. It's possible, depending on how long he takes to get onto there. I mean, Fat Lee is very close to him in gold. He's only behind him by about 1,700, which obviously is a lot, but it's close enough that I think that if it's a turret situation, Fat Lee would be able to hold him off. I don't know.
That seems fair.
I don't know if, I mean, at least on paper that's how it looks like. Obviously, Jax can solo pretty much anybody. But since Jarvan would be doing it mostly defensively anyway, I don't think that Fat Lee would have that much of a difficulty with it. Especially because he has that cleave, so he's able to clear out any minion wave that Jax shows up with.
Mm-hmm. What concerns me is that those two champions essentially have opposite paths in terms of scaling. Jax just becomes so terrifying in the late game, whereas damaged Jarvan falls off pretty heavily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they have a lot of very good late game potential on this team. Obviously, Twitch and Fiddle can do some reasonable things late game also, but I don't think that Fiddle is fed enough for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's kind of going to be up to Port Swimmer to win these fights for Phoenix, unless Hohenheim can just land a sick ult.
Well, this Earth Drake should go down. Hohenheim thinking about going in.
Yeah, they do secure it. In goes Hardest. He gets the combo. They do immediately delete Tilted Snorlax. Now Jackalope is just trying to run for his life. Once again, the combo comes out. They get 2. But once again, it's Stelio just running down Port Swimmer. This Twitch is just left to deal with the Mundo alone every single time. Overall, that's just a 2-for-1, and a Mountain Drake goes over to the side of Gale Force. Not a bad trade.
I think we figured out what Mundo's new project for this quarter is. It's to focus on Twitch no matter where he is.
Just to make his life miserable.
Look, Mundo, we need you to come in this weekend and kill that Twitch. We need to get that done.
It was a pretty important kill to finish off Twitch in that situation, because Phoenix could have potentially tried to at least bait the Baron there, but without the Twitch, they don't have the damage to really burn it down the threatening way. Stelio now caught behind enemy lines, does not have Sadism available. Jackalope actually burns the heal, and here comes Ready the Arcane trying to turn around. Darian is just trying to absorb everything he can, but I think he will go down. Deformed Dave finishes him off. Fat Lee goes back in. Hohenheim has another Crow Storm. There are so many birds in this game. Now can Deformed Dave clean this up? Hohenheim taking really low. Nice snipe from Tilted Snorlax over the wall to finish him off. The 2-for-1 right now. Fat Lee, the one who started that thing all back up, is able to limp away.
Yeah, that was an interesting choice there. I don't know if I necessarily agree with it. But getting a kill for a kill at this, well, 2 kills. But, you know, at this point you got to kind of shave off what you can get. The gold lead still is not that bad, which really it feels like the gold lead should be much higher.
Yeah, agreed. It feels like a game where you've talked about tempo a lot. Gale Force, they've been in control for about 80% of this game, I would say. But the 20% that they haven't been have been explosive moments for Team Phoenix.
And Gale Force has been making a lot of good plays. In that last fight at the Dragon Pit, Jackalope managed to avoid getting captured, and Deformed Ape used him as a way to jump out. So very good awareness there. Knowing, I mean, that's something that I think a lot of Jax players, good Jax players, do have, is they are constantly aware of who they can jump to in every given situation. All right. So now everyone is by the blue buff for Phoenix, and we'll see what happens there. Deformed Ape, the Ghost, and the Dead Man's Plate is just making him a speed demon. And it looks like there might be a push down mid. I mean, this Ghost is really doing wonders for this team. But obviously, both sides do, not a Ghost, Air Drake, which obviously both sides have. But, you know, the Jax just amplifies it with that plate.
So at this point, I mean, if you're Gale Force, you've been playing well. Feel like you should be further ahead than you are, but you have to know the full combo is available again. And it's late enough in the game now that if you get caught in a really bad one, it can all be over so quickly.
Right. The thing is, I mean, obviously, the Wombo combo is available. And so that is something that Phoenix can do, is they could very quickly turn this fight around, this game around. But on the other hand, I think as long as Gale Force keeps playing the way they have been playing, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, I was talking earlier about Deformed Ape being a very threatening split push presence if he chooses to do so, but it is, of course, very difficult to have your jungler be the one split pushing with no teleport available, to know, you know, to let the enemy team know that your jungler is so far away from a potential important objective like Baron. It's tricky to make that kind of commitment.
The amount of durability on Gale Force, though, is actually insane. Deformed Ape is almost at 4,000 hit points. Kantos is almost at 5,000 hit points. I mean, this is a 4,000 hit point Jax. What do you do against that?
Yeah, he actually hasn't itemized into damage that much.
Oh, this is going to be a trouble.
From Darian.
LNZ is actually out of position for the Wombo combo here. I don't think they're going to get it off. Darian taking some shots. Yep, fall back, reset, kill that ward. Good job. Alright, Port Swimmer gets the crab there, so they have a ward that can't go away, along with the other 3 wards they have on Baron.
Yeah, they have a... You know, it's an underrated thing, but it's important that Phoenix right there, they were desynced, as you said. Actually, Deformed Ape might get caught out. No, they were desynced, as you pointed out. And it's important that no one from the team pulled the trigger out of sync. Because if one of those ultimates is on cooldown, it just lessens the entire threat from the whole team. It's good that they all held onto it and no one got jittery and preemptively pulled the trigger.
Yep, very good awareness there. Almost to 40 minutes on this game. Baron is back up. Next dragon will be an Elder Drake, which will be very impactful for Phoenix. Gale Force as well, but to a lesser extent because it won't help their team fighting that much.
Yeah, this is burning down pretty fast, and Deformed Ape went back to base, so he is not in range for the smite, and this is just going to go down for Phoenix. A poorly timed recall there from Deformed Ape, perhaps. And then the fear of walking into that wombo combo nets Phoenix a Baron.
Alright, taking this and running. I do like how Port Swimmer, unlike the previous game that we saw, game 2 I believe it was, where they got the Baron and then immediately went back, Port Swimmer clears up that big minion wave.
Now Elder Drake on the table though, and Gale Force, they're looking to fight. They jump onto Stelio up there. Not sure that that's the target you really want to burn any cooldowns on to start. They don't use any important ones. Pulverize will be back up shortly, and they do get Gale Force to back off of the Elder Dragon.
Stelio does burn his ultimate, so that's 50 seconds of Mundo possibly being vulnerable.
Oh wow, yeah, that is still a much longer cooldown than I would expect at this point.
Everyone is actually recalling here. I'd be very interested to see if Phoenix just tries to go for this.
Yeah, they don't have much aggressive vision, but they do have the Baron buff, and it's so dangerous for Gale Force to walk through any tight corridors against this composition. They're not there. Right as the Arcane comes in, Stelio teleports in, but oh, they actually all get away from Unstoppable Force. Here's Hohenheim flashing in. He's looking for Fat Jackalope. He does get him down. Hohenheim all by himself. He didn't even need the rest of the combo. Stelio in the backline. Can they finish off Port Swimmer? They can't find him. Deformed Ape is going to go down, and oh my goodness, Phoenix, like we said, they have turned this game on its head so quickly.
Ooh, there goes the flash from Fat Lee. A great play there. I don't think they'll get tilted.
Yeah, they have Baron buff and a big wave in the mid lane. They could push that down. They're actually going bottom lane instead.
Huge wave there, though. I mean, they have a lot of cannon minions. Of course, that being said, Gale Force has a lot of wave clearing ability from their surviving champions here. I don't even think they're going to be able to kill Kantos. Fat Lee should back up.
Yeah, Stelio once again forced to use Sadism and does get out, but Tilted Snorlax steps too far forward. These are long death timers. This could be 2 inhibitors quite easily for Phoenix.
Pings here calling to wisely rotate over, take advantage of the 2 cannon minions here as well. Fat Lee barely managed to survive that previous fight with 76 hit points. Guardian Angel, it looks like, is available. Alright, now you guys get out. Take your win, leave. Good job. Alright, now they're calling to go to Dragon. Yeah, they're going to Dragon again.
Which could be dangerous with Fat Lee being low, and Tilted Snorlax does have teleport available, so if you can get back up in time and join the fight.
They did get the crab up. They have dropped a couple of wards. Yeah, I would say don't do this. I would say they should back off at this point.
Yeah,
Fat Lee is
Sadism available again. Fat Jackalope dashes in. That's really dangerous. He's pinned up against the wall now, and he's gonna go down. There's the wombo combo again. And Phoenix, they're just gonna run it down mid now.
Yeah, that has to be GG at this point. Wombo combo over and over again. Little too much aggression coming out of Gale Force at the very end here.
Yeah, that last fight felt like one of those where you've been losing slowly, steadily, and you just get fed up and decide to put it all on the line.
They may have also figured, like we were suggesting, that Phoenix should have gone back there. I mean, their jungler was very weak. They probably were not expecting the fact that they would try to go for the Elder Drake there and just all be waiting. Yeah, another what I would call come from behind win here, as Phoenix just didn't have the game on their side for a long time.
And Gale Force, yeah, once again, I feel like they were in control for a pretty large majority of that game, but just the constant threat of the wombo combo, and eventually Phoenix landed enough of them to bring it home.
Alright, let's check out some graphs. I'm imagining a lot of Port Swimmer damage here.
Yep, Hohenheim getting right up there with him, though.
Yep, those big crow storms, even though it seemed like they weren't doing a lot of damage, they were doing enough incremental damage that it
and
got
hitting
there.
3-4 targets at the same time. That adds up quickly.
Really surprised by the lack of Jack's damage, but then he was building a little bit tankier.
And I think he was the one going down in the wombo combos very early in a lot of fights.
Oh yeah, definitely. 6 deaths. Still not a lot of deaths. I mean, the deaths were spread out a little bit more um, there, but 27, 28, really, really close. And 76 assists off 28 deaths or 27 kills. Really shows how the combos worked in their
Yeah.
favor there.
That's what you expect from a team fight comp.
All right, so we will take a quick break, and then we will see if Gale Force can tie it up 1-1, or if Phoenix can rise from the lower echelons and get into a shot at the higher ranks next week. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.